Sunday. I've had another good day out in the shed. The weather's not quite so nice today. It hasn't really rained, it's been spitting a little bit. But things are looking fairly tidy. Wrapped up the engine for now. Just keep the dust off it. I've got a cloth over the heads. I've been cleaning up the toolkit that was with the bike. I'm not sure this is the original pouch. It seems too big to fit in the box. And I don't think these are all original tools. The little slip pliers are. They've got a little HM logo on them, same as the rivets on the wheels. There's a few screwdrivers there. There seem to be different styles, which is what makes me think this has just been cobbled together from other bits and pieces. Socket for the spark plug, that's actually quite handy. And a 17 and a 14mm spanner. There should be more tools than that. So the little parts book. Somewhere near the back. So that's what should actually be in the toolbox. A few different bits and pieces. So it's missing a spanner and a few other things. And I've solved the problem of my light. So this works pretty well. And of course, if it drops in there, there's no danger of me electrocuting myself. Should probably turn that off now. It is quite heavy. So I'll take that off in a second. The wheels, I've been cleaning up the wheels even more. I tried some CLR on them, that helped a little bit. I tried a little bit of very dilute phosphoric acid, that also helped. I think I've almost got them basically as clean as I'm going to get them. I've also taken the bearings out. So they are currently sitting in petrol. To clean them out, I put them through the ultrasonic as well, but there's still grease in them. The rear bearings are a bit rusty, and the front ones look okay. Interestingly, all of the bearings are, I can't remember what the types are, but it's the seal on one side type. So they're only sealed on one edge, on one side. Front bearings actually seem okay. Like I say, this will get all the grease out of them. I may just replace all of them because I don't think they're very expensive. This one's a bit gritty. I think it's probably better just to replace them because I'm sure they're pretty standard, easy to get bearings. These are the oil seals. I've got replacement oil seals for these, but on the front wheel, one of the seals is a different style. It's got this extra lip, so that I don't know what these are called or where I can get them from. I've got a normal size oil seal, so the dimensions are the same internally and externally. It's just that lip. This is quite hard, so I might put this in the wintergreen solution and see if that helps. These are the spacers that go between the bearings, and I've been painting more bits and pieces. Engine mounts. I keep finding things to paint. That little bracket, so I did end up welding that up and filing it. Milo, no, oi! Don't wee on my Austin 7. It's not good. Good thing he's only a little dog. And so what was I saying? Oh yes, I welded up and refiled the little slot in that plate. It was worn out. The parts book actually has a really nice clear picture of it. And we've been fixing up Head Gardener's car because it leaks somewhere. I think it's a Honda Fit, and I think they're actually known for this. I think it might be coming in from up here. This side looks like it has been replaced at some point. And somebody has been in here before because there's things like duct tape around the wiring loom. But when I took it apart today, it hasn't rained for a while, but this was full of water. So water is getting in. I have tried some Captain Tollies just in here to see if that would seal it, but that doesn't seem to be doing the trick. So I think I have to dig this out, seal it up. So I've been treating the rust. There's already a hole there. So this car, it only needs to last another year, and then she's looking at upgrading. So we just need to keep it alive till then, more or less. But I wanted to treat all the rust in it. And I'll see if I can stop it coming in. I doubt I will be able to. It's a bit like the old Landy. Once the vehicle leaks, it seems to be really hard to stop it leaking. I was water blasting the wheels and other things, and since I've done that, I've water blasted around here, which is why I'm filthy. Water blasted all up there. It's incredible how black it all gets. But I also cleaned up. This is, what would you call this? I guess it's part of the mudguard. That's all in good condition. This is the chain guard. This was absolutely full of muck. It's still pretty dirty, and I need to repaint that metal. Again, there's more evidence that the chains come off at some point. This is a bit mangled, but that'll clean up. I think that's probably meant to be flat, but I'll see when I can bolt it back on the bike, I guess. So I can take those in now, and I've just put the last coat of that Brunox stuff. You have to wait 2 hours between each coat, and you need 3 coats, so it takes a while. So I'm going to let that dry, tack off, and then I'll put the interior back in. And yeah, I think I'll just leave everything, all these painted parts, I'll leave them to dry for a week or two. Engine, I'm still waiting for cylinder block and the clutch, and then I think I can finish putting the engine back together, and then I think that's probably it, mostly done for now. One thing I forgot to mention about these wheels was I did go around and clean the inside of the rims. There was a lot of old rubber and gunge sort of stuck to them, so I went through with these sort of nylon plastic wire brushes. I need to get a new one. This one's getting a bit low. These work really well for stuff like that. And I did also look up the spark plugs, and these C7 HSA are normal range plugs, so these will be fine, which is good. Get a little bit of a tidy up, and put head gardener's car back together, so we'll have to have another go at fixing that a bit later. These parts should dry nicely over the next couple of weeks. Same with the frame. The other thing I did today was finish cleaning up the shock absorbers. They came up really well. Got all the surface rust off them, all the grime off them. They seem to work fine. They were set to the hardest setting. I've reset them to the middle. I'll start off there and see how well they go. But they should work absolutely fine. So I'm sort of slowly putting my cleaned up parts here. All of these bits and pieces, so this is the gauge cluster, headlamp, indicators, grips, all those kind of little bits and pieces, I will clean those up as we're putting them back on the bike, I think, because I'll slowly start getting it back together. And I did paint, I straightened out and painted that little bracket where the chain had hit it, so that should be good. Oops. I will take the grips and things apart as well, stuff like this, the coils, give all those a good clean. Fuel tank, people did ask in the comments about the red coat. I pretty much just followed the instructions, and they come on there, and it talks about doing a second coat when the first coat is completely dry. I think I did that. But what I did do is I did do 2 coats when it was wet, so I would pour it in slosh it around, drain it out, and then immediately pour it back in again, re-slosh it around just to make sure I'd covered everything. It takes ages for it to drip out. But because it's acetone solvent based, I think what happens is it says you can dissolve it out with acetone. So when you put in the second coat, I think it dissolves the initial coat slightly and just bonds to that, which is why you can wait till it's completely dry and do the second coat. But not sure if I'll do this tank or not. This one is pretty clean inside, so I think this one should be okay. And I may just treat some of the surface rust, either that or just put some oil over it so it doesn't get any worse. It's a shame about the dents in this tank. You can see a couple of dings there, but I've got no easy way I can get those out. Even if you kind of made some sort of weird tool to try and get in there and beat them out from the inside, I don't think you'd really be able to get them perfect. The other thing I'll need to do is go through the wiring loom. You can see where someone's done the front half up to about here. So I'll take that, give it a really good clean. I might retape it because it is breaking through in places. But hopefully that's all good. I'll lube up all of the cables and control cables, but they all seem fine. I can reuse those. And I think, oh, this is the old bits of fuel hose and overflow hose. There is a T-piece missing, so that wasn't there. So the bike, as I got it, would never run, but there is a T-piece that goes from the fuel shut off tap down to the little T to go to each of the carburetors. So I need to get one of those, but I think I'm going to leave these overnight. I don't think these are part of the original tools. This here is the little clip that sort of, it's an O-ring with two little metal clips on it that hold the toolbox in place, hold the lid of it down. So this is just some more of that rust killing solution. I just made up a tiny batch. I was using a little measuring cup, and it takes, using these, and the ratio is, I think it's, for every one of these you need 2.5 times the citric acid, and then 10 times the amount of water to citric acid. I don't think the water is critical. I'm pretty sure it's pretty flexible, this recipe, but that did the trick. That works really well. So that's where we're at today.